What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus package update and daily news report for Tuesday, November 16th. So we actually have some more good news going on today, and I want to break down what is currently being said. We got good news yesterday. We're continuing on that same path, so that is great news. You know, one thing I do want to address, when I say there's good news, but yet I don't come out and say there's a stimulus check, I just want you to understand, I do think a stimulus check is needed for millions of Americans. However, that's not what Congress is talking about. We do not expect an additional stimulus check to come out at this time. Would it be beneficial? Yes. Could we pay for this, fully fund it? Yes. But are they going to discuss this? At this time, no. That is not the expectation. What they are discussing, here's what we're going to talk about in today's video, because this is what is actually happening. So no stimulus checks at this time, but here's what's going on. Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi told House Democrats that they aren't leaving for Thanksgiving. They will not leave for Thanksgiving until the Build Back Better Act is passed. We also know President Biden signed the $1.2 trillion bipartisan bill yesterday. That was good news. We got that out of the way. We know lawmakers are now requesting more to go towards seniors, because seniors are going to be heavily impacted come February. And I want to address why. Okay? We also know progressives are pushing residents in West Virginia to get them to support their $1.75 trillion infrastructure bill. We know Senator Joe Manchin, he is the senator of West Virginia. So that's the reason why they're targeting that specific state. So I'll address that in today's video as well. First off, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Always hitting that like button, it really does help out the channel. And also, whenever you guys go and comment, I read your comments. I try to get back to you, but I go and read your comments. And so I try to answer the questions that you guys give me in the comment section. That is why, right, one of the reasons why I continue to do videos on, seniors, Social Security, student loans, right? Because that's what everybody keeps asking. Okay? So if you have any questions, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Here's what I can tell you. Nancy Pelosi has told House Democrats that they aren't going to leave for Thanksgiving until after the Build Back Better Act is passed, which means they could be staying in Washington all of next week. That would be big. But reports have indicated that a vote is most likely going to take place on Saturday. And the reason for this is because the Congressional Budget Office said they would have the full CBO score by the end of day on Friday. So if this comes out any sooner, we see the full CBO score possibly Thursday, which I don't expect, but let's say we see it Friday morning, then, according to reports, the House would actually have a vote on Friday evening. So we could see a vote happen as soon as Friday, but the expectation is it will happen at least by Saturday. All Democrats right now in the House are expecting this vote to happen this week. They do, according to reports, have the numbers to pass this. Some are still a little bit skeptical because there's not everything in this bill that they want, but it's better than nothing. And remember when I said this a few months back, I said that Democrats were coming out saying that something is better than nothing. They kept on saying that. Well, it's coming back again, where they're saying, well, it's better than nothing. Well, that's better than nothing. So just understand, if we see a bill go through that's, well, better than nothing, the expectation is once it gets to the Senate, there will be more stuff pulled out, but Democrats could be saying, well, that's better than nothing. And remember, Democrats are planning on doing another budget reconciliation in 2022 to address everything that was not passed in this current bill. So, whatever that may include, we don't know, but we will find out. Yesterday, President Biden, he did sign the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. This is good. The White House says, and I quote, "This is the biggest investment in passenger rail in 50 years." Which it is. This is the biggest investment into roads and bridges in 70 years. And this is the biggest ever investment into public transit. Here's something I just want to address. This was a bipartisan bill, which means it had Republican and Democratic support. Overwhelmingly, obviously, Democratic support, but it did have bipartisan support. We did hear that former President Donald Trump wanted to see an infrastructure bill pass last year as well, but he couldn't get that to go through. That wasn't the priority, and it made sense at that time. Do we need to provide an additional infrastructure bill, or should we tackle the pandemic, tackle COVID, tackle stimulus? That's what we did. That was the priority at this point, or at that point. And even now, just to give you an idea, some lawmakers question whether or not we should have been addressing infrastructure now, or should we still be addressing the pandemic, our economy, getting the American people back on their feet, addressing the labor shortage, supply chain issues. Should we be doing that first and then tackling the infrastructure bills sometime in 2022? That, according to multiple reports, was one of the big talking points, but they decided let's just move forward with it anyway. So we'll see what happens there. Lawmakers are also requesting more help to be given to seniors. Here's the reason why. We know that the cost of living adjustment is going to go up. It's going to increase by 5.9%, and that's going to provide about $92 per month extra to people on Social Security. Well, that sounds good. Problem is, there's so many other things that go into this. So Medicare is going to go up in price. Property values will go up in price, which means, well, you pay more in taxes and property taxes. Well, if food, that goes up in price, you pay more in taxes at the store. You pay more for the food. So even though seniors are going to get an additional $92 per month, the problem is their expenses are increasing faster and higher than what they're actually getting. That's creating a huge issue. Well, here's the other issue, and this is big. And I didn't even realize this until I was reading an article on it just the other day. But lawmakers are requesting more to be given to seniors because they say that the Education Department has stated that more than 8 million seniors have a student debt. 8 million. There's over 1 million people that are 65 years of age or older that have student debt. Let me know if you fall within that category. Are you a senior citizen? Do you receive Social Security benefits, but you do have student loans? Let me know. I'm just curious. The Education Department says that seniors hold about $335 billion in debt. That's an average of $41,875 per borrower. That's huge. Many lawmakers want President Biden to forgive, and this is where according to reports, this is where the $50,000 is coming from. They want President Biden to forgive up to $50,000 in student debt because the majority of seniors have close to $50,000 in student debt. They say that President Biden can forgive student debt. However, he hasn't done it. He committed and promised up to $10,000 in student loan forgiveness when he was running for president. However, he has not addressed that issue as of lately. One worry amongst lawmakers, though, is that when the federal loan payments, this payment pause, when this expires and payments restart on February 1st, according to them, they say millions of borrowers will quickly default on their loans. They say seniors are already struggling to pay for rent, to pay for utilities, to put food on the table, pay their medications, pay other essentials, and then you tack on a bill that has not had to be paid in over a year, that many people, let's say you have a $40,000 loan, you're going to pay probably $350 per month towards that payment. That's going to be your payment, $350 a month. Well, if seniors are already struggling, they cannot make this payment, guess what happens? When you add all this up, right? Let's say you just can't afford to continue your lifestyle and you can't make cuts. You cannot pay for the medications that you need to stay alive. You cannot put food on the table. You cannot pay for your rent, right? You cannot do any of these things. What's going to happen? Well, most likely, and according to many studies, what seniors would do is they'd pay for their rent, they'd pay for their medications, they'd pay for food, then they'd buy other essentials. The last thing that they would do is pay off debts, right? That's over here. The problem is a student debt is something that you have to pay. You have to pay that back. Here's the problem. This would cause more late payments. This would cause growing interest payments. And if payments are not made on time, what could happen is your Social Security payments, your benefits, could be garnished, or you would collect, you would actually increase your amount that you're owed, or you need to owe, because you would be accruing late payments and collection fees. Well, to just give you an idea, and you're probably thinking, oh, the federal government isn't going to garnish my Social Security benefits. You're wrong. You're wrong. I dug into this, and in 2015, I don't know the numbers over the past few years, but in 2015, the federal government garnished Social Security benefits from more than 114,000 borrowers. Okay? It's not a huge number, but that's big. They garnished the benefits from over 114,000 borrowers over the age of 50. So even though you might think that making payments, for your student debts, yeah, it's important, but the government isn't going to come after you. They're going to get their money. So the government can and will take action. They will take your only source of income if that's what they have to do. So just keep that in mind, and this is why many lawmakers are saying that we have to provide more assistance to seniors because of this upcoming February 1st date. Remember, people haven't made payments on this for over a year, but it could all be just rushing back, and people could either forget or not be able to afford the payment. So it's going to cause a lot of hardships, and Democrats say we need to do something about it. We also know progressives are pushing residents in West Virginia to get them to support their $1.75 trillion infrastructure bill. They say that right now this actually doesn't sit, or reports say that this doesn't sit well with Senator Joe Manchin, because he says he knows his residents better than anybody else. Well, he probably does. But progressives say they know what the American people want, because the polls say we want paid family leave. Well, that's one of the things that Senator Joe Manchin says he doesn't support. He doesn't support the current paid family leave provision within the bill. Now, one of the things he doesn't like about this is he wants to make sure that there's means testing. He wants to restrict who actually gets this. You got to make sure you're working, right? Obviously, you got to make sure you're working. But there needs to be restrictions as to, how long have you been working? Should you actually get paid family leave? Or should a new hire come in, get, up to 4 weeks of paid family leave? Remember, it used to be 12. But then it was cut down to potentially 6, and then they decided, let's just go to 4. So it's, according to reports, it's better than nothing, but we'll see. Progressives are trying to get more West Virginia residents to get Senator Joe Manchin to a yes. They think they could push residents to try to push Senator Manchin into saying yes. Yeah, let's just include it, right? This provision will most likely pass the House bill, but the expectation is it's ultimately going to be pulled out by the Senate. Now, we don't know if senators, specifically Senator Bernie Sanders, is going to object to this, but he could. But my thinking is, and again, this is just coming from me, if Senator Bernie Sanders is going to object to something, it's going to have to do with Medicare. It's probably not going to have to do with paid family leave. Yes, paid family leave is important. Bernie Sanders wants to include it, but his legacy, his mark is going to come with Medicare. Bernie Sanders doesn't have a whole lot of time to change the way that we think and the bills and the laws and stuff like that. He doesn't have a whole lot of time left. He is getting up there. He's getting up there in age. Now, my guess is he is going to continue to run because he wants to push this. But if he can get Medicare included, fully expanded, this is vision, dental, and hearing, all three, that's going to be his goal. So we'll see what happens. We do know multiple Democrats have said that when they signed the infrastructure bill yesterday, that there's too much momentum from the House of Representatives right now to stop pushing the human infrastructure bill. They say that right now they are just waiting on the CBO score to come in. As soon as it does, they will vote. And one House Democrat said, that he doesn't think, or he doesn't care, no matter when the CBO score comes in, he is going to wait to see the full score, but he does expect a vote on it to happen this week. So the expectation right now is as soon as that number comes in, whether it's on today, which I highly doubt, tomorrow, which I highly doubt, Thursday, possibly Friday, yes, it's going to come in. As soon as that number comes in from the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, lawmakers are expected to have a vote soon after. So we will see what happens there, but as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Have an incredible week as well. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.